Imagine waking up one morning with millions of dollars in your bank account, and nobody around you has any idea. No luxury car sitting outside your house. No designer clothes. No expensive watch showing everyone how successful you are. To most people, that would feel like hiding your success. But for many people who actually build lasting wealth, hiding their wealth is exactly what helps them create even more of it. Because there is a financial secret most people never learn. Looking rich and becoming rich are two completely different games. One is about showing the world what you have. The other is about building something that lasts long after nobody is watching. And the people who understand this difference often make the biggest financial progress. Because every dollar you spend trying to look successful is a dollar that cannot work for you. A new car payment cannot invest. A luxury apartment upgrade cannot compound. A designer purchase cannot create financial freedom. But the money you keep, invest, and grow can completely change your future. This is where the difference between appearing wealthy and becoming wealthy begins. Because sometimes the person who looks like they have the least is actually the person quietly building the most. And the reason goes much deeper than saving money. It connects to psychology, human behavior, and the way our brains make financial decisions. For most people, money is not only about buying things. Money is about identity. It is about how people want to see themselves. It is about how they want others to see them. And this creates a dangerous trap. A person gets a better job. They earn more money. They feel like they finally deserve an upgrade. So they move into a more expensive place. They buy a nicer vehicle. They start spending more because their income increased. At first it feels like success. But slowly, the money that could have created freedom starts disappearing into maintaining an image. This is called lifestyle inflation. The more you earn, the more your spending rises. And the strange part is that many people never feel richer. They simply create a more expensive version of their old life. A person making $50,000 a year may struggle. Then they get a promotion and start making $90,000. Instead of using the extra income to build assets, they increase their lifestyle. The bigger paycheck creates bigger expenses. The person looks more successful from the outside, but their financial position may not have improved much at all. This is one of the biggest reasons why looking poor can actually be powerful. Because when you stop trying to prove success, you create room to build it. Think about two people. The first person earns $100,000 per year. They drive an expensive car, live in the most popular neighborhood, wear expensive clothing, and constantly upgrade their lifestyle. Everyone thinks they are wealthy. The second person earns the same amount, but they drive a reliable older vehicle. They live below their means. They invest consistently. They avoid unnecessary debt. Nobody notices them. 5, 10, or 20 years later, the difference becomes clear. The first person built an image. The second person built assets. And assets are what create freedom. Because wealth is not measured by what someone can buy today. Wealth is measured by how much control someone has over their future. This is something many financially successful people understand. They are not trying to impress everyone. They are trying to create options. Options to leave a job they dislike. Options to handle emergencies. Options to spend time with family. Options to take opportunities when they appear. But most people make a mistake. They focus on looking successful before becoming financially successful. They buy the symbols before building the foundation. And the problem with symbols is that they require money to maintain. A luxury car does not only cost the purchase price. It costs insurance, maintenance, repairs, depreciation. The same thing happens with expensive homes, clothing, and lifestyles. The cost is not only what you pay today. The cost is everything that money could have become if you invested it instead. This is where the power of compounding becomes important. A dollar saved today is not just $1. If invested wisely over many years, it can become much more. The money you choose not to spend can become part of your future freedom. This does not mean you should never enjoy your money. Building wealth is not about living a miserable life. It is about understanding timing. There is a difference between enjoying wealth after creating it and pretending to have wealth before building it. A lot of people want the rewards immediately, but wealthy people often delay rewards because they understand something important. Temporary sacrifice can create permanent options. A person who chooses a simpler lifestyle in their 20s or 30s may create opportunities that many people never reach. They may build investments. They may create businesses. They may buy assets. They may reach a point where money starts working harder than they do. This leads to the first practical lesson. Protect your financial foundation before upgrading your lifestyle. When your income increases, do not immediately increase your expenses. Give your money a job. Some of it should protect you. Some should grow. Some can be used for enjoyment. But if every increase in income disappears, you are constantly starting over. A stronger approach is to create a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth is built. The second lesson is, avoid spending money to communicate success. Many purchases are not about usefulness. They are about signaling. People buy certain things because they want recognition. They want people to think they are doing well, but the people whose opinions you are trying to impress are usually not paying your bills. They are not funding your retirement. They are not building your investments. The desire for approval can become one of the most expensive habits in life. Behavioral finance researchers have studied how social comparison affects financial decisions. Humans naturally compare themselves to others. When we see someone with something expensive, we often feel pressure to keep up. But the problem is that we only see the outside. We do not see the debt. We do not see the stress. We do not see the financial mistakes behind the image. You can easily compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel, and that comparison can push you into decisions that damage your future. The third lesson is, make your money invisible before you spend it. Many wealthy people create systems that automatically move money toward their goals. They invest before spending. They save before upgrading. They build habits that remove emotional decisions. Because motivation is unreliable, systems are powerful. If money stays available in your checking account, it becomes easier to spend. But when money is automatically directed toward investments, retirement accounts, or savings goals, you build wealth without constantly fighting yourself. This is why looking poor can become a financial advantage. It reduces temptation. It keeps your focus on progress instead of appearance. And it protects you from one of the biggest wealth killers, trying to look successful too early. Now, there is another important idea. Looking poor does not mean being careless. It does not mean ignoring opportunities. It does not mean refusing to improve your life. The goal is not poverty. The goal is control. A person can have nice things and still be financially smart. The question is not, can I afford this payment? The better question is, what does this decision do to my future? Because many people can afford the monthly payment, but they cannot afford the opportunity cost. Every financial decision is a trade. When you spend money on one thing, you are choosing not to spend it somewhere else. A new luxury purchase may mean less investing. A bigger house may mean less flexibility. A more expensive lifestyle may mean working longer. The wealth-building mindset asks, is this purchase helping me create freedom, or is it keeping me dependent? This question changes everything, because the purpose of money is not to impress people. The purpose of money is to create choices. And choices come from ownership. Owning investments, owning assets, owning your time. This is why investing becomes such an important part of wealth building. Saving money alone is not enough. Over time, inflation reduces purchasing power. Money that sits still loses strength. But money invested into productive assets has the potential to grow. Many financially successful people understand that their income is only one part of the equation. The bigger question is, how much of my money is working for me? Because the goal is not just earning more. The goal is building something that continues growing. This is the difference between income and wealth. Income pays your bills. Wealth creates independence. And building wealth usually requires patience. It requires doing things that do not always receive attention. Saving when others are spending. Investing when others are chasing trends. Learning when others are distracted. Building quietly while others are performing success publicly. The world rewards visibility. But wealth often grows in silence. A tree does not grow faster because people are watching it. It grows because the foundation is strong. Money works the same way. The habits nobody sees often create the results everyone notices later. The person who looks ordinary today may have created extraordinary financial freedom tomorrow because they understood the game. They were not trying to win attention. They were trying to win time. And time is the real reward of wealth. At some point, the question changes. It is no longer, how can I afford more things? It becomes, how can I build a life where I need less money to feel successful? That is a powerful shift. Because the person who needs expensive things to feel wealthy is controlled by those things. But the person who can choose simplicity has freedom. They can buy something because they want it, not because they need approval. They can enjoy success without being trapped by maintaining an image. And that is why looking poor can be so important. Because it protects the process. It protects your capital. It protects your focus. It allows you to build while the world is distracted. The biggest financial advantage is not always earning more. Sometimes it is keeping more. Sometimes it is avoiding unnecessary pressure. Sometimes it is being comfortable with nobody knowing how well you are doing. Because the ultimate goal of wealth is not looking rich. The ultimate goal is reaching a point where your money gives you control over your life. And sometimes the smartest financial move you can make is quietly building a future that does not need anyone's approval.